Chapter 1741. Okay. Director Zhang waved to them. Give me a phone call when you get back over there. Benjamin nodded. Jasper and Bradley were reluctant to part, hugging and clinging to each other. Alright, let's go back now. Mommy is still waiting for us. Benjamin urged the children again. Go back, old Mr. Graham will call you when he has time. Bradley hugged them, patting their little heads. If I have time off, I will come back to see you guys. Bradley, take care of yourself, okay? Jasper couldn't help but remind him. Okay, you guys be good and don't make mommy angry. Bradley was pleased, patting their heads again. If anything happens, give us a call. Benjamin reminded Bradley, pulling the children away. Alright, you guys should go back now. It's almost midnight over there. Bradley didn't want to delay any longer with Jasper. Otherwise, they would be back too late. Goodbye, Bradley, old Mr. Graham, goodbye. Gavin, Timothy Graham, Zachary Yi, Oliver Yi, Yijin Yi, and Jesse Yi waved goodbye to them one after another before reluctantly boarding the plane. Goodbye. Bradley waved with a smile. Goodbye, go on up. Director Zhang was reluctant, but there was nothing he could do. Bradley, old Mr. Graham, we will miss you. If you miss home, give us a call. Jasper and the others arrived at the cabin door and shouted one last time. Got it, go in quickly. Bradley waved his hand. Benjamin boarded the plane, gestured for Jasper and the others to go in, then turned to Zhang and Bradley, nodding. We're heading back, you guys go back early too. Zhang and Bradley stood there, waving goodbye to him. Benjamin turned and went inside, leading Jasper and the others to their seats. The bodyguards closed the cabin door. The cockpit started up, and the pilot waved to them before taking off after a while. Now, Zhang and Bradley headed back to the dorm. Zhang escorted Bradley downstairs. You should be able to find your way up. I need to go to the office building. I remember, 3rd floor, 806. Bradley recited his room number. Zhang smiled, make sure you remember it clearly. Bradley shyly smiled, go up and rest early. Zhang patted Bradley's shoulder, I'll come find you again at 8 in the morning. Bradley nodded, Zhang, don't stay up too late either, get some rest early. Alright, if you need anything, let me know, go up now. With a final reminder, Zhang waved to Bradley before heading towards the office building. Benjamin and the others arrived, but Zhang didn't inform anyone else. When Benjamin left, only a few people knew. In the future, it will be difficult to see Bradley, old Mr. Graham. On the plane, Jasper and the others still looked reluctant. We can come visit Bradley, old Mr. Graham, when we have vacation time, Jesse said to Aaron and the others, looking innocent. That also depends on whether Bradley or old Mr. Graham is available. If we come here and Bradley or old Mr. Graham is not available, we won't be able to see them, Oliver reminded Jesse. We can only wait until Bradley or old Mr. Graham is on vacation. Timothy Graham pursed his lips, feeling quite uncomfortable being separated from Bradley or old Mr. Graham all of a sudden. Benjamin glanced at them and envied Bradley's money. He went on a business trip to the base in the west a few days ago, but he didn't see the children reluctant to part with him. Mr. Graham felt a pang in his heart. But he also knew the feelings Bradley had for them. After all, he had been with them, watching them grow up. Daddy has been away for a few days, did you miss me? Benjamin couldn't help but ask the children. Suddenly, all 6 pairs of eyes looked towards him. Not a single one wanted to answer his question. They didn't miss him at all. It was him who made them worry. Chapter 1742. They wouldn't admit it even if they wanted to. Benjamin felt a pang of sadness. Gavin and Timothy Graham exchanged a knowing smile. Daddy, don't bother asking, even if you ask, it's pointless, Gavin huffed lightly. How come I heard someone say that you and Jasper were planning to come find me, but got caught by Huo Zheng's men? Benjamin raised an eyebrow, knowing that his children were worried about him, which he found comforting. It was no different from missing him. Gavin and Zachary blushed, knowing exactly who spilled the beans. It must have been old Mr. Graham who spilled the beans. Old Mr. Graham was just teasing you, we just wanted to go play with old Mr. Graham, it was a misunderstanding. Gavin pouted, refusing to admit it. Benjamin tapped his head and said in a deep voice, you just wanted to go to the base with old Mr. Graham, didn't you? Admitting that you wanted to find me is too difficult. Gavin glanced at him, smirked, and pretended to laugh. The other 5 Jaspers chuckled. Benjamin didn't press them any further, these kids were quite awkward. Don't fall asleep later, go back to sleep when we get home, he reminded them. The 6 Jaspers looked at each other, they weren't in the mood to sleep now. But on the plane, with nothing to do, it was quite boring. Old Mr. Graham, are you bored? Let's play cards, Yi Zijan teased the bodyguard. The bodyguard subconsciously glanced over at Benjamin, who was looking at his phone, not sure if he was reading documents or something else. You guys just play a few games with them, don't let them fall asleep. Benjamin said lightly, and the bodyguards came over to play with Jasper and the others. On the way back, not only did they not fall asleep, but Jasper and the others were also playing very excitedly. They won a lot of money from the bodyguards. Benjamin watched them excitedly and his lips curled slightly. He worried too much. Back home, it was exactly midnight. Orissa was in bed, not specifically waiting for them to come back, just scrolling through her phone. But she got addicted to watching TV. When she heard the sound of the airplane propeller, she paused and ran to the balcony to take a look. She confirmed that Benjamin had returned. She smiled, put on a robe, and went downstairs to wait for them. The plane landed on the front pasta base, and Benjamin got off with 6 Jaspers. From a distance, he saw the figure standing at the door. You're still not sleeping at this time. Benjamin smirked and muttered, isn't it because you didn't let us sleep? Zachary heard and thought he was talking about them, so he looked up at Benjamin in confusion. Benjamin smiled and gestured towards the door. Your mom is waiting for us. The 6 Jaspers then noticed Orissa, excitedly ran towards her. Mom, we're back. Slow down, Benjamin reminded, but the Jaspers rushed out without hearing him. Benjamin shook his head with a smile and walked towards Orissa. You guys go rest early. Yes, Mr. Graham. The bodyguards quickly cleaned up and parked the plane in the hangar. Slow down. Don't run. Orissa was worried that the children would fall with their enthusiasm. But she was still very happy. A face full of indulgent smiles. Mr. Graham and Mary also came out when they heard the commotion, seeing Jasper almost pounce on Orissa. They quickly reminded them, don't run, don't pounce on your mommy. Slow down, kids, Miss Jessie, be careful not to pounce on Orissa. Hee hee, Jasper was overjoyed, stopping in front of Orissa, not pouncing on Orissa. They remembered not to pounce on mommy. Orissa indulgently patted their heads. Is everything arranged on Bradley's side, Mr. Graham? The 6 Jaspers nodded simultaneously, everything is arranged. Chapter 1743. Mommy, why haven't you gone to bed yet? Jessie looked at her happily, surprised that she really waited for them to come back. Mommy, you must be worried about us and waited for us to come back. Timothy Graham also looked at Orissa, his little face showing a dimple as he smiled. Gavin, Zachary, Oliver, and Jasper all smiled at her. Orissa chuckled as she looked at them, the children were so excited. I didn't wait for you on purpose, I was just watching a drama and lost track of time. I heard you come back, so I came down. It's already 12 o'clock, you guys should go to bed. Okay, the 6 Jaspers said in unison, and when Benjamin approached, they went to stick to Mary and Mr. Graham. Mary and Mr. Graham led them into the house. Welcome back, Orissa looked at Raphael approaching, her face full of smiles. Yeah, Benjamin walked up to her and took her hand into the house. I told you to rest early, why did you wait for us? No, I didn't wait for you. Orissa smiled. Benjamin looked at her sideways, a hint of teasing in his narrow eyes. If you weren't waiting for us, then who was eagerly waiting at the door? Orissa chuckled. I couldn't sleep, and when I heard the sound of the plane, I knew you were back, so I just came down. Benjamin smiled and leaned in to whisper in her ear, is it because you can't sleep when I'm not around? Orissa's mouth twitched. No, I was watching Ty, got engrossed, and didn't sleep. Benjamin touched her belly. Not sleeping so late is not good for prenatal education. Orissa was a bit speechless. She only did this occasionally. Is everything settled over there? Yes. Benjamin looked at her. I dare not do what you ordered. When did I order you anything? Orissa smiled and looked at Raphael. Benjamin raised an eyebrow. Didn't you ask me to help him tidy up? He can just go to bed when he gets back to the room. Orissa smiled and hugged Raphael. Holding Raphael's waist, she couldn't help but touch his abs. Darling, you've worked hard. Benjamin hugged her and chuckled. Watch the road. Orissa smiled happily. I thought you guys would come back later. We're here now. We were already a bit late. Had supper over there before coming back, otherwise we would have been even earlier. Benjamin told her about what happened over there. Orissa understood that Mr. Graham had called her when things were almost sorted out. Let's go upstairs to sleep. Benjamin took her upstairs, and the children had also gone up. The kids haven't slept on the plane at this time. They're still excited. Did you guys do something on the plane? Orissa found it strange. Not to mention on a plane, even in a car, the kids would be sleepy. Yet they were still very energetic. I didn't do anything. They were playing cards with the bodyguard and won some money. Benjamin explained to her with a lowered gaze. Orissa's mouth twitched. Didn't you stop them? Just stop them from doing anything. As long as they're not asleep, Benjamin muttered lightly. Orissa chuckled and poked Raphael's chest. It's not good to always win their money. It's just for fun. They can handle it. Benjamin shrugged. The bodyguards he hired were well paid. Good night, Mom. Good night, old Mr. Graham. Jasper and the others peeked out of their rooms and greeted them. Orissa smiled and replied to the children. Good night, honeys. Good night. Benjamin followed suit, bidding the children good night before leading Orissa back to their bedroom. You go to bed first. I'll take a shower. With that, Raphael headed towards the bathroom. Chapter 1744. Orissa's mouth twitched. Didn't you just take a bath before going out? Are you taking another one? It's been 7 or 8 hours since I went out. Benjamin turned back and replied, I can't sleep without taking a shower. Orissa teased him for being a clean freak. She closed the door and happened to see Mr. Graham and Mary coming out of the children's room. She greeted them. Mr. Graham, Mary, you should go to bed early too. Don't worry about them. Good night. Good night, Orissa. Mr. Graham nodded. Orissa, we're going to bed now. You should sleep early too, Mary also reminded Orissa. Okay. Orissa smiled and replied, waiting for them to return to their room before closing the door. She had just lay down on the bed when she felt the need to go to the restroom, but Mr. Graham was taking a shower, so she had to go out again. She decided to go to the children's room to take care of it. Jasper and the others were sending voice messages to Bradley. Bradley, we're back home. Bradley, are you going to sleep now? Good night, Bradley. Just say it. Don't wake Bradley up. Orissa reminded them, one person saying one sentence, so as not to disturb Bradley if he was already asleep. Jasper and the others chuckled. All of them had changed into their pajamas. Mommy, why aren't you sleeping yet? Why are you here with us? Jessie looked up at her. Mommy, are you here to tuck us in? Leafy grinned, showing off his white teeth. Mommy, we're going to bed now. You should go to sleep too. Timothy Graham said to her before quickly lying down. The others also gradually lay down to sleep. Mommy, remember to turn off the lights for us later, Zachary reminded her before closing his eyes to sleep. Mommy, we're going to sleep now. You should go to bed too. A pregnant woman shouldn't stay up late. Oliver took off his glasses and went to sleep. Good night, Mommy. Gavin glanced at her and quickly closed his eyes too. Orissa couldn't help but laugh. She didn't even have a chance to speak. I just came over here to use the restroom. The 6 Jaspers. They squinted and glanced at her. Orissa went to the restroom. So tired, let's go to sleep. Yezi yawned widely, ignoring Mommy. The other Jaspers were also quite tired, and they closed their eyes again to sleep. This time, they fell asleep. Orissa came out of the restroom, and all the Jaspers were snoring. She smiled, walked over, tucked them in with a blanket, and left a small lamp on. She turned off the main light in the room, closed the door, and went back to her side. When she returned, Mr. Graham hadn't finished washing up yet. She closed the door, got back into bed, and called out towards the bathroom. "Benjamin, how much longer are you going to wash? You should be done soon." They had already washed up after making pasta in the afternoon. They really were clean freaks. Benjamin opened the door, came out of the restroom, with a few wet strands of hair on his forehead. But he didn't wash his hair. He turned off the restroom light and walked over. Sitting on the edge of the bed, he smiled at her. Orissa held her phone and felt like watching TV for a while, but she felt his gaze and looked up. "You've lost a few pounds of skin from washing it all off." "Waiting for me," Benjamin smiled at her. Seeing that he didn't seem ready to sleep yet, Orissa furrowed her brows. "I just went to the restroom and just came back. Speaking of which, it seems like someone didn't take a long shower either. Why aren't you sleeping yet? Why are you still holding your phone?" Benjamin moved closer, leaned over, stretched out his arm, and directly took her phone. He glanced at it and threw it onto the bedside table. "Go to sleep quickly. Don't watch TV anymore." Orissa pouted, seeing that he wasn't sleeping either. "You haven't slept yet, and you're telling me to sleep. I'll finish watching this episode before sleeping." She smiled at Raphael, acting coquettishly. Chapter 1745. "Wanna watch it tomorrow?" Benjamin lifted the covers, got into bed, and pulled her into his arms. Taking in the pleasant scent of his shower, Orissa took a deep breath. "But I can't fall asleep because I keep thinking about the plot twist in the show." Benjamin lowered his head and kissed her forehead, saying with a smile, "The more you watch, the less you want to sleep. After finishing this episode, you'll want to watch the next one." "I'm almost done. I promise I'll go to sleep after this episode." Orissa felt itchy. She couldn't relax without finishing that bit. "Darling." Orissa grabbed his pajamas in front of his chest, her watery eyes looking at him. Benjamin's eyes were deep and mischievous. "Pouting won't work. It's already midnight. No more watching. You won't be able to sleep." He pinched her chin, leaned in, and pressed his lips against hers. "I can't sleep either. I'll stay with you." After speaking, he silenced her with a kiss. Orissa was kissed by him until she felt weak all over, her heart pounding. After deeply kissing her for a while, Benjamin moved away and nuzzled her face and neck. It felt tingly and numb. Orissa shrunk her neck, trying to avoid it. "Don't continue, you'll feel uncomfortable again later." She softly persuaded Raphael, but Mr. Graham didn't listen. He hadn't properly held her in his arms for several days. He came back yesterday and went to the hospital again. Finally having some time to be affectionate tonight, how could Benjamin let her go? I won't take care of you later." Orissa's ears turned red from his teasing, and she reminded him. Benjamin smirked devilishly and kissed her. "Don't you want to?" Orissa's ears were burning, and she avoided his gaze. "Are you going to let me sleep or not? Just said you couldn't sleep, now you want to sleep." Benjamin's lips curled up, bewitching. "It's late." He bit her ear, his deep voice, captivating. Orissa gently pushed Raphael, but couldn't move him. "I'm fine here." Benjamin held her in a different position. Orissa lay on him, his hands not idle, igniting her. "Don't hurt Jessie." Orissa's face was red, charming. Benjamin's eyes were deep and intense. "I know my limits." Over an hour later, Mr. Graham finally let her go. Orissa buried her head in the pillow, her ears burning. Benjamin came out of the restroom and saw her ostrich-like appearance, feeling amused and helpless. "Still can't sleep." Orissa turned her head, glared at him, then buried her head in the pillow again. Is Raphael doing this on purpose? In the middle of the night, he still won't let her sleep. Asking the obvious. "You go sleep on the couch." Feeling Raphael getting into bed, she grumbled in a muffled voice. Benjamin chuckled softly, leaned over, and turned her over. "Honey, don't sleep on your stomach, it's easy to suffocate." Orissa glared at him irritably. "Do you think I don't know that?" Benjamin touched her face, affectionately kissed her cheek. Softly soothing, "All right, go to sleep." Orissa poked his chest hard and coquettishly said, you can sleep peacefully now, you kept me awake. Benjamin's handsome face lit up with a brilliant smile as he continued to tease her. If you can't sleep, shall we continue? Get lost. Orissa cursed and moved away, sleeping on the other side. Mr. Graham moved closer again, wanting to hold her. Orissa turned back and scolded, shameless. Benjamin smiled and wasn't angry. His long arms wrapped around her waist, gently caressing her back. Don't be angry, it's not good for Jessie. Shameless. Orissa cursed in her heart again. I haven't properly held you in days, isn't it fair to ask for some interest? Benjamin kissed her earlobe. Orissa shrank back and turned to glare at him. You held me this morning. That doesn't count, Mr. Graham smirked. Just holding her wasn't satisfying at all. Chapter 1746. Orissa was speechless with him. The couple couldn't sleep, talking in private until almost 2 o'clock before falling asleep. The next day, Benjamin woke up early. While Orissa was still asleep, he went to the company. Mr. Graham hadn't been to the company for almost half a month, and everyone was on edge. There was a meeting early in the morning, and no one dared to take it lightly. Benjamin glanced around, just held a routine meeting without getting angry. After only half an hour, the meeting ended, and the other senior executives with important matters had to go to the office to find Benjamin. Benjamin had been away from the company for so long, and there were a lot of files and project progress to catch up on. The senior executives were all waiting in line at the door, waiting to report to Benjamin and make decisions. Ethan also had a lot of things to do, but everyone had to wait for his assistant to come out before they could go in and report. Mr. Graham, these files are urgent, these can be postponed. Ethan had already screened them, and he had dealt with many files before bringing them here to Benjamin. However, there were still several piles, and Benjamin was almost buried behind his desk. Ethan adjusted them for him. He also reported today's schedule to Benjamin. Call Jack over later, I have something to tell him. While reviewing the files, Benjamin listened to Ethan's report and gave this order. Ethan looked at him. Yes. Let the others in. Benjamin ordered again. Yes. Ethan went out and signaled for them to come in. Immediately, several high-level executives almost broke their heads at the door. I was here first. My matter is more urgent. Ethan's mouth twitched and he glanced at the office pasta, reminding them, one by one, do you want to anger Mr. Graham? The high-level executives glared at each other and the ones in front of the line squeezed in. Mr. Graham is pressed for time, hurry up and report, don't dilly-dally, Ethan reminded them. Mr. Frank, you go first, you have priority. Exactly, we all have to wait. If one of you in front of the line annoys Mr. Graham, the rest of us will suffer too. Ethan was quite speechless. Can't you guys pick the good ones to go first? They wanted to, but all the projects were tough nuts to crack. Mr. Graham is in a relatively good mood today, make sure to seize the opportunity. Ethan left. He still had to notify Jack to come over, not sure if Jack had woken up yet. They had stayed at the company until past 1 in the morning last night. Jack didn't feel like going anywhere, so he stayed here to catch up with Ethan. Fortunately, he had also helped a bit, otherwise Ethan would be even busier today. By the time Benjamin finished meeting with the company's high-level executives, it was almost 10 o'clock. He checked his phone and called Orissa, not sure if she was awake. She was still in dreamland when he left in the morning. Benjamin leaned back in his chair, taking a rare moment to relax. At home, Orissa woke up, but lazily lay in bed not wanting to get up. She knew he was busy when he wasn't around. When her phone rang, she quickly picked it up and saw that it was Benjamin, a smile unconsciously forming on her lips. Darling. On the other end, Raphael, hearing her soft voice, felt his heart melt. You're still in bed. Hearing her voice, it felt like she had just woken up. Benjamin looked at her indulgently. Yeah, I've been awake for a while, just couldn't remember. Orissa pouted at him. Benjamin's eyes were deep, wishing he could go back and hug her right now. Then sleep a little longer, wake up fully and have pasta later, it's still early. Listening to Raphael's soothing words, Orissa smiled, it's already past 10. Still early. Early. Sleep until noon and then get up. Benjamin knew she was a bit of a sleepyhead now, so he wanted her to rest well. I still want to go to the hospital today. Orissa was a bit conflicted. If you want to go, we'll go in the afternoon. Sleep a bit more in the morning. Benjamin coaxed her. Chapter 1747. Orissa happily responded. Do you have a lot of things to do today? Yes, quite a lot. I just finished meeting with the senior management of each department, but there are still some documents left to deal with. It was undeniable that Benjamin was going to be busy all day today. Do you want me to help? Orissa felt bored staying at home. You should rest first. Benjamin didn't want her to get too tired. Okay, I know. I can come over in the afternoon to help you, Orissa suggested. Benjamin chuckled lightly. If you want to come, just come. I might not have time to go back for pasta at lunch. Weren't you just saying you wanted to go to the hospital? I will definitely go to the hospital when it's time, but I can also come over to your place. Orissa lay on her side, chatting with him while playing with the patterns on the bedsheet. She needed to wash the bedsheets today. It's up to you, but remember to have the driver take you out. Benjamin reminded her, and Jack came in. Seeing him on the phone, Jack knew he was talking to someone. Benjamin gestured for him to wait. Got it, you go ahead and be busy. I'll take a nap again. Yawning, Orissa didn't know if it was because she stayed up late last night or hadn't been sleeping well recently. She was feeling lazy today. Okay, Benjamin softly replied before hanging up the phone. Jack got up and walked over. Mr. Graham, do you need me for something? Benjamin nodded and motioned for him to sit down, saying, have there been any discoveries on the base side? Jack was not surprised, and he had some idea that it was because of this matter. Yesterday, I talked to Mr. Watts again, and we both feel that the person is not part of that group, but we can't be sure who they are. It was really strange. Benjamin also found this person strange. This person seemed more like intentionally leading them over to discover the underground bunker. Could it be that while he was leading them over, he was also discovered by the other party, and that's why the bunker was emptied in advance? If that's the case, why didn't this person call the police, but instead led them over? The strangeness lies in this. You keep an eye on that side, this person may appear again. Jack nodded in agreement. Ethan, there are also many things to handle in the company, so you should first investigate secretly. We are short of manpower, so I will arrange for reinforcements from headquarters. This matter can only be investigated secretly. If you find anything, report to me promptly. Benjamin assigned the task and also reminded Jack a few words. I will have Kingsley cooperate with you, you two will work together. Both Kingsley and Jack have been to the base side, so they are more familiar with the environment there. It will be easier to investigate. Will Mr. Watts go with me? Jack raised an eyebrow, knowing that Mr. Watts would not be happy if he found out. Benjamin looked at him. He won't go, he is in charge on the Delmore side, you two will investigate separately. Jack understood and nodded. Mr. Graham, should we keep an eye on Ho Jung? Benjamin's eyes flashed. No need. I have my own arrangements. Okay, Jack understood and had no further questions. I'll go arrange it now and then head over to the base, Jack said to Benjamin before quickly springing into action. Benjamin nodded in response. As Jack was leaving, he ran into Ethan coming in. Leaving already, Jack said, patting Ethan on the shoulder before hurrying off. Ethan glanced at him and then walked into Benjamin's office, asking, where is he going? To the base, Benjamin replied, continuing to review documents while giving Ethan a task. Ethan, I need you to take care of something in Zhongcheng, Benjamin instructed. What is it? Ethan asked, feeling a bit caught off guard. Try to obtain some of Huo Zheng's personal belongings, preferably hair or blood, Benjamin said, having been pondering over this for the past 2 days. Regardless of whether Huo Zheng had any blood relation to his honey, Benjamin needed to find out. He never liked to be passive in his actions. Ethan hesitated for a moment before asking in a low voice, Mr. Graham, are you suspecting that Huo Zheng is Orissa's biological father? Chapter 1748. Both Huo Zheng and Director Zhang Nulu Lin, and Arissa looked a lot like Lulin. This seems to be no secret in the Graham family. Ethan naturally overheard everyone discussing this. It's just strange why Benjamin only asked him to get Huo Zheng's DNA, but not Director Zhang's. Director Zhang was at the Graham family yesterday, so it would have been easier to get her DNA. Wait for authentication before we talk, Benjamin glanced at him. He reminded, don't let him find out. Oh, this mission is a bit challenging. It would be better to have him investigate the mastermind behind the scenes. Ethan's face showed a frustrated expression. Is there a problem? Seeing him silent, Benjamin raised an eyebrow and his narrow phoenix eyes swept over, exerting pressure. No problem. Ethan smiled awkwardly. What if Huo Zheng finds out? Benjamin narrowed his eyes. Regardless of what Huo Zheng thinks, he doesn't want him to know about these things. Bring it up to see. Huh. Ethan became even more frustrated. Mr. Graham, if I inexplicably contact Huo Zheng, he will definitely be suspicious. If you go personally, it might be easier. Ethan looked at Benjamin and whispered his suggestion. As long as Mr. Graham has any reason, he can see that old fox Huo Zheng. Benjamin stared at him intently, making Ethan's scalp tingle. You don't have to see him in person to get this done. Ethan, Mr. Graham has such high expectations for him. As Ethan was hesitating, Benjamin's phone rang, and it was probably Commander Huo calling. Benjamin glanced at Ethan before answering the phone. Commander Huo. Ethan widened his eyes, gesturing excitedly for Benjamin to mention pasta to Huo Zheng. Benjamin, are you busy? Huo Zheng greeted. Benjamin's eyes flickered. Yes, I'm at the company. Commander Huo, what's up? I'm coming over to Delmore today for some business. If you're not busy, shall we have pasta for lunch? Huo Zheng didn't beat around the bush and directly invited him for pasta. Benjamin raised an eyebrow, knowing that Huo Zheng's invitation for pasta was not just a simple meal. There was something between them. Sure, Commander Huo, just let me know the place and send it to my phone. Benjamin replied. Ethan admired. Mr. Graham was the landlord here, but he let Huo Zheng treat him to pasta without any sense of propriety. Only Mr. Graham dared to treat Huo Zheng like this. Huo Zheng smiled. All right, I'll send you the details later. You can bring Arissa along. Benjamin squinted his eyes and said in a deep voice, I understand. Whether he would bring her along was his own decision. Mr. Graham, what do you think? Ethan was excited. Wasn't it perfect timing for Huo Zheng to come here? Benjamin gave him a cold look. You don't need to go to Zhongcheng. Come with me for lunch with Huo Zheng. Okay, Ethan replied loudly, promising to complete the task by noon. Mr. Graham, should I bring Arissa? Ethan was still curious if Huo Zheng also considered Arissa as his child. No, don't bring her. Benjamin didn't hesitate. They had other matters to attend to, and it wouldn't be appropriate to bring Arissa along. Ethan nodded. Yeah, we should first figure out if there is a connection or not, can't just meet pasta casually. At this moment, a message came in on Benjamin's phone. It was from Huo Zheng. Benjamin handed it to Ethan to take a look. Plan it out yourself. TL make sure the task is completed. Ethan smiled and replied. Benjamin waved his hand, signaling him to leave. Ethan quickly picked up the files that Benjamin had already reviewed and went to the secretary's office, unable to hide the smile on his face. Mr. Frank, you seem so happy, what's the good news? Share it with us. Hurry up and send these files out. Stop gossiping. No time to chat with you guys. With a smile, Ethan dropped a line and went back to his own office. Chapter 1749. At around 11 o'clock, Kingsley came to the company to find Benjamin. Benjamin, do you have any good ideas to deal with those people in the basement? You came at the right time. Later, I'm going to have pasta with Huo Zheng. You can join us. We'll discuss it after eating pasta with Huo Zheng. Kingsley was surprised. Are we going to Zhongcheng? Perhaps Huo Zheng already had some clues. Benjamin was not in a hurry. Without looking up, Benjamin quickly reviewed the documents. Huo Zheng came to Delmore. Kingsley nodded, understanding. Okay, what time are we going? In 10 minutes. Benjamin glanced at his watch. It was almost 11:30. Okay. Kingsley sat in front of the desk, leisurely watching Benjamin busy with the documents, seeing a pile of files on the desk. He felt sorry for Benjamin. Benjamin, are you planning to finish reading all these files today? Benjamin didn't have time to respond to him. Kingsley pursed his lips and didn't bother him anymore. At 11:30, Benjamin promptly put down his work and grabbed his coat. Let's go. Kingsley quickly followed, and at the door, they also met Ethan, who came to remind Benjamin. Now the three of them gathered and headed straight to the elevator to go downstairs. Mr. Graham, should we bring more people? Ethan asked Benjamin for instructions. No need. Benjamin strode towards the elevator, already on the first floor, heading towards the pasta place outside. The cars were all ready, waiting at the door. We're just going to eat pasta, why bring anyone along? Kingsley chuckled, wondering if Ho-jung would dare to make a move on 3-Aaron's turf. Besides, Ho-jung still needed to ask 3-Aaron for help. Just in case. Ethan glanced at Kingsley, but since Mr. Graham hadn't given any instructions, they decided not to bring anyone else. Don't worry, it's not that serious. Kingsley patted Ethan on the shoulder and followed behind Benjamin. The bodyguard saw Benjamin coming out and quickly opened the door, waiting. Benjamin bent down and got into the car. Kingsley quickly followed suit. Ethan sat in the passenger seat. The Rolls-Royce headed towards the hotel designated by Ho-jung. There was also a bodyguard car following behind. They couldn't bring too many people, but having bodyguards around was necessary for Benjamin's safety. Benjamin made a phone call to Arissa in the car. Arissa had already woken up, was changing clothes, getting ready to go downstairs to eat pasta, visit Victor at the hospital, and then go to the company. Hello. She held the phone while looking for clothes. Are you up? Upon hearing her voice, Benjamin's handsome face softened instantly. Yes, I'm up. Arissa smiled and took out the clothes she was going to wear from the wardrobe. What are you doing? Benjamin heard some rustling on the other end and asked curiously. I'm changing clothes. Arissa, unaware that there was someone next to him, replied openly. Kingsley was originally eavesdropping, but upon hearing this, he quickly moved to the window. Benjamin glanced at him and continued talking to Arissa. Are you going out? Yes, I'm going to change and then go downstairs to eat pasta, visit Victor at the hospital. Arissa reported her plans to him. It's noon, have you eaten pasta yet? Do you want me to have pasta sent to you at home? Not yet, I'm actually going out to eat pasta right now, Benjamin told her. Arissa just thought he was having pasta with a client and didn't inquire further. Then you'll go back to the office in the afternoon, right? I'll come find you after I finish with Dad. But if she went to the office, he wouldn't be there. Okay, I'll be at the office. Benjamin smiled and reminded her, you can come later, we're not sure what time we'll be back. Got it. I need to change clothes. Bye. Arissa hung up the phone, quickly changed clothes, and the children were urging her. Benjamin glanced at the phone that had been hung up before putting it back in his pocket. Chapter 1750. Are you still reporting your whereabouts to third sister-in-law? Kingsley teased Benjamin, who seemed reluctant to hang up the phone. Benjamin didn't mind, in a good mood, she's coming over this afternoon. He wanted to let her know so she wouldn't come early when he wasn't there. He also wanted to know if she had gotten up yet. Can't oversleep. Kingsley chuckled, you two are so lovey-dovey. Benjamin glanced at him, then turned back to his notebook to reply to emails. Seeing him busy again, Kingsley sighed. Why can't you take a break and go out for pasta? Aaron, you're making so much money, yet you're still working so hard. You're going to work others to death. I have more than enough energy to work you to death. Benjamin retorted, immediately covering Kingsley's mouth. Ethan couldn't help but laugh in front of the pasta. Mr. Watts, maybe you shouldn't disturb Mr. Graham. Mr. Graham had to come find you, and it delayed a lot of work. My bad. Kingsley apologized. If could help, I would, but unfortunately, I can't. That was as good as saying nothing. Ignoring him, Kingsley had no choice but to keep quiet. After a while, Kingsley couldn't help but ask Ethan in front of the pasta, Ethan, where are we going for pasta? Linjun International. Ethan replied, turning around. It was the Ho family's property, Linjun International Hotel. Linjun International, Kingsley muttered, not surprised. This was Ho Jung's own hotel, so it was normal to have pasta there. But it seemed like Justin had been managing it before. Linjun, Lu Lin, Huo Jung. Kingsley chuckled, this Huo Jung is quite romantic, taking such a name. It seems that he must love this Lu Lin to the core. Benjamin's eyes flickered, and he also caught on. He hadn't paid much attention before. But with Kingsley's remark, it did make sense. San Aaron, do you think San Sao might be Lu Lin's child? Kingsley was curious, not daring to directly suspect it was Huo Jung's child. After all, Lu Lin had been missing for so many years, it could be someone else's child. If it wasn't Huo Jung's child, would San Sao be in danger in the future? Out of jealousy, it was not impossible. There was no good outcome for those who offended Huo Jung. In high positions, who was truly clean? I don't know, Benjamin said indifferently. Kingsley looked at him and continued, do you think San Sao might be their child? I'm not sure. Benjamin's voice turned colder. Kingsley shivered and didn't dare to gossip further. San Aaron clearly didn't want to discuss this matter. Don't speak nonsense before you know the truth about San Sao's past. Benjamin warned him. Regardless of the truth, he didn't want Arissa to be troubled by her origins. The York family had already hurt her. He didn't want to see a day when her biological parents also came to harm her. I understand. Kingsley nodded, no longer playful, he was just gossiping before San Aaron's past. When they arrived at Linjun International, someone was already waiting at the door to greet them. Huo Jung didn't personally wait here, but they didn't mind. After all, Huo Jung's identity was there. A group of people walked into the private room, and Huo Jung was already seated inside. Seeing them approach, he stood up to greet them. Benjamin, come and sit down. Huo Jung smiled warmly, his gaze sweeping over Ethan and Kingsley before glancing back at the seat behind him. Arissa didn't come. Kingsley and Ethan exchanged glances, realizing that this old fox still wanted to see his sister-in-law. She's busy, Benjamin casually replied as he took a seat. In front of Huo Jung, Benjamin showed no signs of weakness. Kingsley was greatly impressed. He gave Ethan a look and quickly sat down next to Benjamin. Ethan didn't sit down but stood behind Benjamin, his hands resting on the back of the chair, exuding a protective aura. Huo Jung looked at them and also took a seat.